Las Vegas, 1986. A man stares blankly into a flashing screen. He hasn't moved for hours. He barely blinks. His wife is gone. His money nearly lost. Yet, his finger keeps pressing the button again and again. Hypnotized, trapped. Because this machine was never designed to let him go. It was designed to keep him playing. Every spin, every sound, every loss, carefully engineered. What this man didn't know was that an entire industry had spent decades crafting this exact moment. Using lights, sounds, psychology, and addiction, they perfected a billion-dollar trap hidden behind the spinning reels of a slot machine. And millions, just like him, would fall into it. San Francisco, 1895. Inside a small workshop, the air smells of oil and iron. A German mechanic named Charles Fay is finishing a project that seems harmless. 3 spinning reels, a payout tray, a single lever mounted on the side. He calls it the Liberty Bell. Drop in a nickel, pull the lever, hope for 3 bells. If they line up, it spits out 50 cents. It's simple, mechanical, pure chance. No screens, no music, no dopamine. And yet, it spreads like wildfire. Saloons across California install them near bar counters. People play while waiting for drinks, laughing as coins rattle into the tray. It feels innocent. It is, for a while. But as the decades pass, the machines begin to change. By the 1960s, electricity replaces springs and gears. Lights flash, sound effects trigger on every spin. Payouts become bigger, flashier, louder. And in the shadows, something begins to shift. The machine isn't just reacting anymore. It's manipulating. In 1976, a new version is born inside a small company in Las Vegas. It doesn't use spinning gears. It doesn't even need reels. It runs on code. The era of the random number generator begins. Outcomes are now decided before the reels even move. You pull the lever, you think the spin matters, but the result? Already chosen. And that was the breakthrough. Because now casinos could control everything. The payout rate, the illusion of luck, the rhythm of the game. By the 1990s, the transformation is complete. Slot machines aren't simple anymore. They're sophisticated psychological tools. Each one a glowing box built with science, not chance. Casinos notice something else, too. Players are staying longer, spending more, coming back more often. So, they start redesigning the entire floor. Table games are pushed aside. Roulette and blackjack shrink to the edges. The heart of the casino becomes a sea of machines, row after row, glowing silently in the dark. No dealers, no rules, no judgment. Just you, a button, and the hope that maybe this next spin will change everything. But it never does. And that's the point. Today, slot machines generate up to 85% of casino profits. And they're not popular because they pay out. They're popular because they're designed to keep you playing. In the 1950s, inside a Harvard lab, a rat is placed in a cage. There's no maze, no puzzle, just one button and one rule. Press the button, and maybe you'll get a pellet of food. But here's the trick. The reward isn't consistent. Sometimes it takes 1 press, sometimes 20, sometimes none at all. And what scientists found changed everything. The more unpredictable the reward, the more obsessed the rat became. It stopped eating, it stopped sleeping. It just pressed the button again and again until it collapsed. They called it variable ratio reinforcement. Today, casinos call it standard practice. Slot machines are built on this exact principle. Unpredictable rewards that arrive just often enough to keep you hooked. You spin, you lose. You spin again, nothing. Then, a small win, just enough to remind you it's possible. This isn't luck, it's behavioral conditioning, and it works. Neuroscientists studying the brains of frequent slot players found something disturbing. The dopamine activity, the rush of pleasure and anticipation, mirrors that of cocaine use. But unlike most drugs, slot machines are silent, clean, socially acceptable, and worse, they're designed to make you feel like you're in control. But you're not. The reels don't matter. The timing doesn't matter. The outcome is decided the moment you press the button. Yet the illusion is so strong that players believe they're developing strategies, that they're due for a win, that the machine is listening. It's not, but your brain doesn't care. Because once the dopamine loop is triggered, logic isn't part of the equation. And over time, players stop gambling to win. They gamble to feel normal. Addiction researchers call this extinction burst, the point where you're not playing for excitement anymore, you're playing to avoid the crash when you stop. It's not about money. It's not even about fun. It's maintenance, and the machine always delivers, just enough to keep you chasing. It looks like a game. It sounds like a win, but it's neither. Because what most players don't realize is that modern slot machines aren't built to be exciting. They're built to deceive. Let's start with one of the simplest tricks. You bet $1, you win 40 cents. You lost money, but the machine celebrates. Flashing lights, rising tones, the word win splashed across the screen. This is called a loss disguised as a win. But it's not an accident. It's coded into the system because your brain doesn't track dollars. It tracks feedback. If the machine rewards you, even after a loss, you keep playing. But it gets worse. Near misses are programmed to appear frequently. 2 jackpot symbols. Then a third one lands just above the line. Your pulse spikes. You were so close, but in reality, you weren't. The outcome was never close. It was never even possible. The machine simply showed you a losing result dressed as a near win. Why? Because a near miss triggers the same neural response as an actual win. Your brain rewards you, even when the machine doesn't. And then there's multi-line betting. Modern machines let you bet across dozens of lines at once. You can win on one line while losing on 29 others. The machine makes noise, it flashes, you feel good, but you've just lost more than you won, and you don't even realize it. This constant loop of minor stimulation, mini wins, near misses, frequent feedback is carefully calculated to keep you in the zone. And the pacing? That's deliberate too. The first 2 reels stop quickly. The third one takes its time, delayed by just a second or two. That pause builds suspense, raises heart rate, makes the outcome feel dramatic. But the result? Already locked in. It's all for the show. Even the sound design is weaponized. Winning sounds are louder, sharper, longer. Losses are muted, soft, easy to ignore. And then there's the machine itself. Large buttons placed perfectly for comfort. Smooth surfaces made for rapid tapping. No friction, no hesitation, just endless repetition, engineered for flow. By the time you're deep into the session, you're not thinking about strategy or odds or even money. You're reacting. And the machine? It's designed to reward your reaction, just enough to keep you locked in. There's a moment in every gambling session where time disappears. You don't notice the people walking past. You don't feel the chair beneath you. You don't care what day it is. You're spinning and spinning and spinning. Psychologists call this state the machine zone. It's not a metaphor. It's a measurable mental shift. Your brainwaves flatten. External stimuli fade. You lose track of reality. You're not playing to win anymore. You're playing to stay in the zone. This is the true power of the modern slot machine. Not the money it takes, but the state of mind it creates. And the industry knows it. They don't just build machines for it. They design entire environments to protect it. No windows, no clocks, no mirrors, no sense of time or self. Just you and the screen. Casino floors are curved to prevent hard stops. Lounges are nearby so you can eat, rest, and come back without ever stepping outside. And the most loyal players? They're not the ones betting big. They're the ones who never leave. One study found that many addicts don't even care if they win. In fact, when asked what they wanted the most from gambling, they said peace. Not excitement, not adrenaline. Silence. Because in the machine zone, your debts don't exist, your job doesn't exist, your pain doesn't exist. It's the only place where everything finally stops. Except the machine. That part keeps going for as long as you let it. Meet Gerald. He was 73 years old, a retired bus driver. He walked into the casino with $60. A few hours later, he walked out with nothing. Not just that night, but everything. His savings, his pension, his home, gone. Over the next 2 years, he returned more than 400 times, not because he was chasing a win, but because he didn't know how to stop. And the casino knew it. They gave him free dinner vouchers, priority parking, and a birthday cake. Not because they cared, but because he was profitable. He wasn't alone. In a 2013 lawsuit, a Canadian woman sued the Ontario Lottery after losing $250,000 on slots. She had signed a self-exclusion order, begging the casino to ban her. They let her in anyway. Why? Because she played a lot. And in the gambling world, that's all that matters. In Missouri, a man with a documented gambling disorder lost nearly everything. His family reported him missing. They found his car days later. In it was a suicide note. One line stood out. Quote, "I couldn't stop. The machine never let me." These aren't isolated stories. They're patterns. In some regions, up to 60% of slot machine revenue comes from just 5% of players. Many of them are elderly, lonely, living on fixed incomes, the exact demographic casinos quietly target. One report revealed that loyalty programs are used to identify frequent players and tailor incentives directly to them, not to reward healthy habits, but to keep them spinning. Casinos will offer free meals, hotel rooms, transportation, even credit lines, all of it designed to keep the most vulnerable players inside. These are not customers, they're extraction points. And the longer they stay, the more the system takes, until there's nothing left. In the last decade, slot machines got smarter. They're no longer just games, they're data systems. Modern machines track every movement, how long you hesitate before a bet, how quickly you hit spin, when you slow down, when you lean back, when you nearly walk away. Then, they adjust. Some show you a near miss. Others speed up a win. Many offer a small bonus at the exact moment your attention starts to fade. This isn't chance, it's personalization. Casinos call it adaptive gameplay. You think you're playing the game. The truth is, the game is learning how to play you. And it works. As mentioned earlier, believe it or not, slot machines now bring in more revenue than every table game combined. More than poker, blackjack, roulette, and craps together. Because the machine doesn't need to be fair. It just needs to feel fair. The lights, the sounds, the pacing, they're not decoration, they're strategy. And every time you tap that button, the system updates. It learns, it adjusts. Not to make the game better, but to make it harder to leave. Regulators know the danger. They've seen the studies, they've read the numbers, they've watched lives collapse, and some have tried to push back. A few regions introduced speed limits, forcing machines to spin slower. Others mandated warning messages, maximum loss limits, or session timeouts. But none of it changed the core design, because every serious reform meets the same wall. Lobbyists, industry pressure, political cost. Gambling revenues fund schools, roads, public programs. In some states, they make up billions. And so, the cycle stays intact. Casinos claim to promote responsible gaming, offering helplines and pamphlets, often steps away from machines built to keep you playing. Some even run self-exclusion programs, systems where addicted players voluntarily ban themselves from entering. But in many cases, the casino doesn't stop them, because they still play, and they still pay. So the question isn't whether we can stop this, it's whether we want to. Because the technology is only getting smarter, more personalized, more invisible, and the line between design and exploitation is no longer blurry. It's clear. We just keep pretending not to see it. A slot machine doesn't need to shout. It doesn't need to trick you with big jackpots or loud wins. It just needs you to stay. And for most players, that's exactly what happens. Because the machine isn't trying to beat you. It doesn't need to. It waits. Quietly, patiently, feeding back just enough noise, just enough color, just enough hope to keep you spinning. And the longer you stay, the more it learns how to hold you. It's not a glitch. It's not bad luck. It's not even addiction. It's design. A system built not to reward you, but to harvest you. And once you understand that, once you really see the machine for what it is, the most dangerous part isn't losing your money. It's losing track of the fact